Hello and welcome. In this message, I wanted to touch on the expanded sense of realms and expanded sense of energies that are coming in and helping this world or this being or you ascend and then basically find your true center. As the frequency are coming into Earth and the amplification of them is continuing to happen, basically Mother Earth, Gaia, and her own consciousness is basically taking on the upgraded form of her being. She's embedding the frequencies into her core, kind of into her energetical crystal structures. And not crystal in the sense that you interpret crystals, but crystalline structures in the sense that it almost appears as this lighted web weave that is part of her grid, that is basically kind of amplifying and taking on more frequency or different range of frequency that she has held on before. And her ability to expand and contract is basically endless. But the ability of any one human interpretation, a human race or human reiteration of self is varied based on the interpretation of the timeline or the interpretation of the reality that you're choosing to participate in. And so as Earth is starting to expand and take on their larger frequency and interpret the frequency bands of her being, then by default, you being a being or a conscious set of experiences on this plane will start to sink in with her through your humanoid relative experience and start to experience the bands together with her. But instead of looking it as you being at the mercy of this larger system, what I wanted to say is you came on here to take on the larger system. So maybe change the relation of the narrative of where you find your place of ascension and recognize that your place here has always been and has been designed to, and obviously you're here and listening to this because of this, has been in order to assimilate yourself as much as possible into the recognition of this larger band. And Mother Earth is just simply there to help you with that transition. So because she's so nimble and fluid with her energetic frequency of interpretation, it is the best place for human race of you here on interpretation of Earth to allow yourself to start to experience yourself as something other and something different, because you are in the space where the planetary structure is basically designed to be so nimble and adjustable to where the range of what we would call human experience can be much wider of a breadth of interpretation than anywhere else that you have experienced before. And so to clarify or to give an example from the human standpoint, we are able to experience a wide range of emotions, a wide range of emotional arrays, to where we can experience emotions of pain and the sorrow and the grief. And then we can experience the most elated emotions of love and oneness and connection. And so that range, the entire range of interpretation, that is basically the nature of a human experience, is held in this frequency band that is now expanding. But the sense of experience that you have, this band of emotional range, will not feel any different to you because the emotional range is there. But your interpretation of traveling upon this band through an interpretive standpoint of a perceived experience, as opposed to being a victim of a circumstance, is the change that you will notice. And so as you energy rise up and as your energy take on this new form, you will be able to take this bird's eye view standpoint, right? And see yourself as this very much experiential being that is taking on this decision and is taking on this decision of an emotional band, and then you will now choose as the interpretation of Earth. Naturally, depending on the type of emotions that you have been experiencing, and the stuckness of them all, You will choose to see yourself as the um, dictator of your reality, so much more so. Then obviously, naturally, your choice will be driven into more elated, more heightened, more expanded versions of yourself as love, right? In the human narrative in the past, we have come to believe that the love we experience is conditional, is limited, is non-existent, and so therefore the switch into this larger band of experiences will automatically have us, through our desire, right, to see more, to be more, to experience more, go into this larger band of the most elated and most enlightened notions of love and notions of being that you have yet to experience before. And so you will spend a lot of time just basically playing and getting familiar with this realm. And it, is a beautiful place to be in, and just obviously happy exploring there. But I want to point out and say, or maybe confront this misunderstanding, that as you experience this larger notions of being in the heightened sense of awareness, that does not mean that you are or will lose your emotional range of all the other possibilities. So you can still basically transverse and travel this entire band of you as a human, of you as a newly interpreted being, but obviously very naturally for some immediate sense of time, you will choose to stay and experience these larger scopes of truth. Kind of get grounded in them and get absorbed in them, and then just basically truly see yourself for what you are. But then again, I want to say this, without fear of unrecognition, that you are able to transverse and travel in the same emotional bands as you would before, but in this time as a master of self, instead of a victim of a circumstance that you've perceived yourself to be. And so allow Mother Earth to support you in this transition. I guess that is what I wanted to end on. And allow her to be there, because she is in fact a tool, a kind of a symbiotic being that you're connected to in your interpretation of reality, that allows you to have the grace to take on these larger scopes, right? These larger frequency bands, and then be able to stay in them longer from any one time to time, and obviously completely ascend yourself into this understanding of the wholeness. But if you utilize her groundness, if you utilize her connection to the cyclical nature of your being, right, to the cyclical nature of your awareness, and not to the pain and the love and the expansion and the contraction, you will be able to gradually work these larger bands of frequencies within your being, into your being, as opposed to feeling overwhelmed or ungrounded or uncentered at any one point of time. So take walks, go swimming, just allow yourself to be part of nature and part of this greater expansion that is the earth that choosing to experience as your reality, and then stay aware of what it means to be one with the nature of reality that is guiding you, naturally guiding you into an easy transition, a very soft and easy transition into this larger interpretation of you as truth. So thank you, and happy expanding.